We open at Preston Strategic Solutions, a corporate strategy firm, and we meet our main character, Linda. Now, Linda is the kind of employee every company needs, but never actually appreciates. She's sharp, she's meticulous, she's detail-oriented. She stayed up preparing a company report, making sure every single index matches next year's estimated quarterly lease figures. That's not the kind of work you do unless you really care. She hands the report to her coworker Donovan, gives him a rundown of everything she did, and they head toward the meeting room together. Here's where it starts. Donovan casually tells her, "Oh, it's just a small meeting. I'm just dropping the file off. Don't worry. Everyone will know you did the work." And Linda trusts him, because why wouldn't she? She turns for a second, and she notices her two other coworkers, Chase and River, chatting about going to karaoke after work. Linda tries to jump in. She says she could really use a night out too. They ignore her completely, like she didn't even speak. And while that sting is still fresh, she looks across the hall and sees Donovan presenting her report to the board, like he wrote every single word himself. This woman built the foundation, and someone else is getting the applause. Again. That evening, Linda goes home and talks to her pet parrot, Sweetie. And I love this detail because Sweetie is the only one who listens to her. Truly listens. No agenda, no interruption, you don't seem like a people person. Just presence. Linda tells Sweetie she's finally going to get that vice president promotion she's been working toward for 7 years. Her old boss, who actually valued her work, has just passed away. His son Bradley is about to take over as president. And Linda has reason to be hopeful. Bradley flirted with her at the company Christmas party last year. She remembers it. She's been holding on to that moment. She even tells Sweetie that once she gets promoted, they're moving into a bigger apartment. She turns on the TV. Her favorite show? Survivor. The irony of that will hit you hard later. The next day, Bradley is officially introduced as the new president of Preston Strategic Solutions. Linda walks up to him, introduces herself, reminds him of the Christmas party. He nods, barely. She offers her condolences for his father's passing. He's not really listening. He's distracted, because Linda has a tiny piece of food stuck under her lip. Something so minor, so human, so completely irrelevant. But it derails the entire interaction. He excuses himself and walks away. Meanwhile, Bradley's having a conversation with the executive officer, Franklin, about a major merger deal in Bangkok. Mid-conversation, Bradley notices something on his hand. Transferred from Linda earlier. A little bit of tuna. He asks Franklin to smell it. Franklin refuses. Bradley insists. Franklin smells it and says, "Tuna fish." And Bradley mutters, "What a disgusting woman." There it is. That's who we're dealing with. Franklin tells Bradley that his father had promised Linda the vice president promotion. She's earned it. She's a workhorse. The company depends on her for everything. Bradley's response? Give it to Donovan. Franklin pushes back. Donovan won't be able to handle things on his own, especially the Bangkok merger. There are unresolved issues in Appendix D that are going to make or break the deal. Bradley sighs. Fine. Use Linda to get Donovan up to speed, then ship her out. Linda is literally going to be used as a training manual for the man who stole her credit, and then discarded. Linda finds out from River that Donovan is getting the VP promotion. She also finds out that Donovan and Bradley were in the same college fraternity. They still play golf together. That's it. That's the whole reason. Linda marches straight to Bradley's office. He's in the middle of interviewing someone, asking the candidate how far and beyond she'd be willing to go for him. Already telling you everything you need to know about this man. Linda interrupts. She tells him it's urgent. She lays out the facts. She's been with the company 7 years. Donovan has been there 6 months. She confronts him directly. Bradley sits her down. He says he's seen her work. He's impressed by her skill with numbers. But I don't see you in an executive position. You don't seem like a people person. The role requires someone charming, well-liked, someone who plays golf. And then casually, he points out that she has something stuck in her teeth. Linda starts to break down right there in his office. And seeing that, Bradley offers her a deal. Come on the Bangkok merger trip. Solve the issues in Appendix D. If she pulls it off, he'll reconsider the promotion. Just then, his fiancée Zuri walks in. Bradley introduces Linda as one of their best employees, while in the same breath mentioning he's received complaints about her eating tuna at her desk and suggesting she use the break room. Linda grabs her things and walks out. And quietly to herself, she says, "I am enough just the way I am." A few days later, Linda arrives at a private airfield ready for the Bangkok trip. She's buzzing. She stayed up all night working on Appendix D and found a loophole. She tries to tell Bradley immediately. He ignores her and tells everyone to board the plane. During the flight, Linda keeps working. Meanwhile, Donovan decides to do something vicious. He pulls up one of Linda's old audition tapes for Survivor. Yes, the TV show. Linda had applied to be on it. In the video, she's talking about knowing 3 ways to start a fire and how much she loves nature. Everyone laughs, hard. Linda pulls off her earphones, hears the laughter, sees what's on the screen. She's shaking, and she deletes the file. And just when you think it can't get worse, the plane hits severe turbulence. The flight attendant is screaming at people to buckle up. The cabin starts to depressurize. A window tears open. Linda, not still trying to be the bigger person, reaches out her hand to help Donovan. He grabs her seat and tries to strangle her. She grabs a fork, stabs him. His tie gets caught in the door. He begs her to help him. She looks at him and walks away. The plane goes down. Linda wakes up on a remote island. She's been washed ashore. She's alone. After hours of walking the beach, she finds someone unconscious in the sand. Bradley. He has a deep wound on his leg. He's in bad shape. Now think about this moment. Linda, the woman this man humiliated, dismissed, weaponized, and discarded, finds him helpless on a beach. She has every reason to walk away. She sets up camp. She gathers banana leaves and coconut leaves, ties them with vines to make a shelter, digs a hole, sets up a water collection system before the storm rolls in. She keeps him alive through the night. When Bradley finally wakes up the next morning, Linda is already up, drinking the water she collected. She brings him some too. He asks what happened to the others. She quietly tells him no one else survived. He whispers Donovan's name. She shakes her head. Then she starts a fire and jumps up and down with pure joy because she did it. The woman from the Survivor audition tape who knew 3 ways to start a fire, she wasn't lying. She brings him fish. He refuses to eat it. She insists he needs his strength. And slowly, he eats. For the first time in her life, Linda says she feels peaceful. A few days in, Linda finds a conch shell and explains they can eat the snail inside. Bradley's more focused on why they haven't been rescued yet. He asks if she's tried making a distress signal, arranged bamboo sticks to spell help. Linda laughs. She says she hasn't had time to think about that because she's been busy keeping them alive. He immediately dismisses her and tells her to focus on getting rescued, not playing homemaker. Linda fires back. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be alive right now. He scoffs, then tries to move and realizes his legs still won't cooperate. She tries to help him. He snaps, "Don't touch me. Speak to me with respect." Linda says nothing. She picks up a few things and walks away. He calls after her, mocks her, tells her not to take his delicious snail food. She doesn't come back for a full day. Violent winds tear through the camp that night. His shelter collapses. He has no water. The next morning, Linda returns, gives him water, and says very calmly, "We are not in the office anymore." Linda finds wild boar tracks and prepares a spear to hunt. Bradley laughs. "You're gonna hunt a boar?" She corrects him, "Strategic and planning." Then reminds him that he claimed to be impressed by her work before giving her promotion to someone else. He shrugs. Sometimes a boss has to make tough calls. She heads into the forest. The boar charges at her. She runs, hides, waits for it to get distracted, then drops down and drives the spear straight through it. That night they eat. Properly. Bradley admits the food is incredible. Linda agrees, and then bursts out laughing. He asks what's funny. She says, "While you were sitting there like a lump on a log, I was bringing home the bacon." For a brief moment, something shifts between them. The next day, Linda is exploring the forest when she discovers something. A boat in the distance. She almost calls out. Almost. Then she stops, looks at it, and quietly says, "Not yet." She walks back to camp and tells Bradley she found a new freshwater source. Let that sink in. She saw rescue. She chose to stay. Why? That's the question that drives the rest of this film. Back at camp, Bradley's getting desperate. It's been 2 weeks. He wants to build a raft. Get off the island. Do something. Linda shakes her head and says, a raft is a last resort. They have food, water, shelter, and each other for company. Bradley snaps that the island is the last place he wants to be. Linda asks, "Haven't I taken good care of you?" He tells her this might be her kind of life, but not his. He's the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. She fires back, "A company your father built." He fires her, on the spot. Decides to build his own camp. He limps away, tries to gather sticks for shelter. It collapses. He tries to start a fire. It rains. He tries to collect rainwater. The rain stops. The next morning, Linda walks over and points out that he spelled the word help as H-E-L-E. He sees an insect, grabs it, tries to eat it, spits it out. And then, swallowing every last bit of his pride, he walks over to Linda. "Lyndon, is that you? I think we met at the Christmas party last year." She smiles and casually says, "You have something stuck in your teeth." He apologizes, genuinely. For the island, for the office, for everything. "So, I'm not fired?" Linda asks. He shakes his head. Without her, the company would fall apart. He tells her she looks completely different from the nervous person who walked into his office. She asks him to admit, once and for all, that he underestimated her. He nods and asks if he can come back to her camp and learn from her. She tells him to sit down. Over the next few days, something genuinely human starts to develop between them. Linda teaches him survival rules. Never eat yellow, green, or white berries. Test them on your skin first. Stay away from the part of the island marked by rocks in an X shape, poisonous vines and thorns. On a high ridge overlooking the water, he almost loses his footing, and he grabs her hand and pulls her back up. That night, she makes something called pruno, fermented fruit, prison wine, basically. They drink it by the fire. He laughs when she accidentally calls him sweetie, then learns that's her parrot's name. He asks if she lives alone. She tells him she was married for 10 years. He asks if she divorced. She corrects him quietly. Her husband died, and then she tells him the truth. Her husband had a drinking problem. When he drank, she hid the car keys. One night, the fight got so bad, he did terrible things to her. And in the end, she handed him the keys and poured him his last drink. She's never told anyone that before. After a long silence, she says, "Maybe we shouldn't even leave this island." One morning, Bradley cooks dinner for her, tells her to take a break for once. It's surprisingly good. She's genuinely impressed. And then she collapses. Bradley grabs a raft he's been secretly building in the bushes, along with supplies, and tries to escape alone. The first wave, he survives. The second wave pulls him under. Linda, still vomiting from the poison, runs into the water and pulls him back to shore. The next day, Bradley admits he poisoned her. Linda calmly says she already knew. The food tasted bitter. She just never thought he'd actually go through with it. She also points out it would take far more of those berries to actually kill someone. She gives him fried octopus. He offers her some. She declines. Her stomach's still off. Then she tells him she understands how hard it must be, not being in control anymore. But that's the reality now. She's the one keeping them alive. And things are about to change. Bradley realizes he can't move. Linda reveals the truth. She fed him blue-ringed octopus. Its neurotoxins block nerve signal transmission. He can't move, can't feel anything. For a few hours, he's completely paralyzed. She says that might actually be better, considering what's about to happen. Then, she tells him a story about a dog she had as a child. A naughty dog that kept wandering off. Her father said it wasn't the dog's fault. It just needed to be fixed. She tells Bradley, no help is coming. He needs to accept it. He's not the boss anymore. He's at the bottom of the food chain. To prove her point, she rolls a rat near him. He panics. She watches and says, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Next time, it won't be a rat. For 2 days, Bradley refuses to speak to her. Linda tries to lighten the mood, talks to him, jokes with him, then goes to get him some fruit to cheer him up. And in that moment, she hears it. A boat engine. Zuri, Bradley's fiancée, comes running toward Linda and hugs her. She never gave up searching. Even after the official rescue operation ended, she hired a private boat and kept looking. She immediately asks, is Bradley alive? Linda says yes. Zuri asks her to take her to him. Linda nods, then casually asks, is it just them, or is there a rescue team nearby? The captain says it's just the two of them. Linda nods again and leads them toward the high ridge. Says it's a shortcut. Zuri talks about how excited Linda must be to get back to normal life. Linda doesn't reply. She stops to tie her laces, tells Zuri to walk ahead. And then, the captain and Zuri are screaming for help. Linda returns to camp alone, drops the bag, lies down in the shelter, doesn't say a word. Later, Bradley mentions he saw fresh boat tracks nearby, suggests they go check. Linda says, I'm taking a sick day. That night, she has a nightmare. Zuri crawling out of the sea, accusing her of murder. She wakes up. The next morning, Bradley goes to hunt a boar. He moves through the forest carefully but steps on a branch. The animal bolts. He looks down. Buried in the sand, a hand. And on the finger, a diamond ring. Zuri's ring. He breaks down, screams. He runs back to Linda and demands to know if she killed Zuri. Linda says calmly that Zuri slipped while she was trying to help her reach him. He doesn't believe her. She swears it was an accident. He snaps, just like your husband's death was an accident. Linda reaches for the knife. Bradley already has it. She runs into the forest. He chases her. A brutal fight breaks out. He tears out a handful of her hair. She bites him. They struggle. In the end, Linda grabs a rock and strikes him. He starts laughing, hysterically. She opens her mouth and shows him Zuri's diamond ring. Then, she swallows it. He attacks her again. She grabs the knife, stabs him. He breaks free and runs, straight into the part of the island she had warned him never to enter. And there, hidden behind the poisonous vines and thorns, is a luxurious mansion. He starts screaming for help. No one answers. He rushes inside and searches for anything he can use. Then he hears Linda's voice through the speakers. She's been in the mansion the entire time. She tells him she found it right after they arrived. She turned off the security system. The owner never even noticed. She memorized the code. After the caretakers left, she let herself in. The food she'd been bringing him? From the mansion's kitchen. She admits she truly enjoyed their time together. She even calls him her new sweetie. But what happened afterward, Zuri, the poison, the raft, she says that wasn't planned. Maybe it was fate that only the two of us survived. She appears in front of him with a shotgun. Bradley breaks down. He admits everything. He was a terrible person. He treated everyone badly. The island and Linda changed him. He declares his love, begs to stay on the island together, forever. But Linda notices a missing piece from a decorative showpiece on the wall, a curved horn. She realizes what Bradley is about to do a half-second too late. He attacks her. She grabs a golf club off the wall. He pulls the trigger on the shotgun. It doesn't fire. No bullets. Linda swings the golf club. Bradley goes down. 1 year later, Linda stands at a celebrity golf tournament. She's now the president of Preston Strategic Solutions. A reporter introduces her as a real-life survivor, the only person rescued from the middle of the sea after the crash. The reporter asks how she managed to survive. Linda smiles and says, "The memories of my lost colleagues are what kept me going." The reporter asks how she feels about her best-selling book being turned into a movie. She says she's happy, and she's already working on her next book, a self-help book, because she wants people to understand one thing. She looks straight at the camera. No help is coming, so you better start saving yourself.